Latino on Latino crime, man. It's crazy. Someone asked Lonzo, how big was Arsenio Hall? What do you remember about Arsenio before he became Arsenio?
Arsenio used to be at the Comedy Acts Theater. He used to be at Comedy Store in Hollywood. The most non-funniest brother you want to meet in your life on stage. When it came to stand up, he made me smile.
Me either. I didn't get it.
He never made me smile.
Okay? I didn't get it.
He just, dude. I was telling my son today. We was talking about that. He's asking what it was like being back in the 80s and 90s. Man, back in the 80s, me and Unknown would go to the Comedy Act Theater. Comedy Store on Sunset in Hollywood, the one owned by Pauly Shore's mom, and talk to Richard Pryor like I'm talking to you right now. He'd be in the corner kicking it. Hey, what's up, Richard? How you doing, man? High on the motherfucker. Okay. You saw a broke late Jay Leno. You saw a broke David Letterman. You saw Robin Williams, Eddie Murphy, Keenan Ivory, because Damon wasn't even around yet. All the comedians that are old and rich right now were at the Comedy Store back in the Comedy Store back in the 80s, kicking it, and that was just one of the spots, man. That everybody would go to. Arsenio would be there, and he would, he'd do his thing, and everybody sit there and look at it. And when he got the show, I'm like, why would they give him a show, not give nobody else a show? But he was a much better host. Everybody don't translate from comedy. That's a hell of a transition to go from to be a stand-up comedian to an actor to a host. Everybody don't have all them skills. Okay. I think Cedric Entertainer is a great stand-up. That he don't do nothing for me in a movie or in a television. I don't care for him. Okay. Arsenio Hall, good host, great host, stand up and acting. Yeah, he do all right as long as he with Eddie. You ain't seen him no place else. Where else you seen him if Eddie wasn't in the movie?
Facts.
If Eddie wasn't in the movie, Arsenio wasn't in the movie. Okay. Not that I can recall. Help me if I'm wrong. Help me understand. Ken Ivory Wayans kills on stage and on screen. Damon, same thing, kills funny both. Jamie Foxx on TV is funny as hell. In person, yeah, he all right. When he was Eric, what's his real name? Eric something. He'd be at the Comedy Act Theater and in the Mert Park, and he was all right, but he wasn't all that great. Marlon Wayans, the good looking one, not the goofy one, ain't never been funny in nothing, brother. I was concerned. Okay.
Yeah.
The fact is the only reason why he was funny because his younger brother played with the goofy one. Okay. Sean played Goofy real well, and Marlon played Goofy off of him. Okay. But Eric Bishop, thank you, Isaiah. Yeah, that's Jamie Foxx by name, Eric Bishop. And some people just don't translate back and forth.
I always wondered why Arsenio got the nod, because I never saw it at that time. I just saw Arsenio as Arsenio, but in hindsight, I studied some of his old stuff. I'm like, he was not funny. I'm looking at it like, this guy got the late night gig. I'm like, I wonder who auditioned for that. I think it's because he was a safe Negro, too. I put that in quotes.
He might have been safe, okay, till he had fair.
Like Sinbad, Sinbad
is funny in person. He's funny on in the movies. He's also funny. He's a good host, but it never kept him on TV no time.
Tell us that story again about was it Sinbad and Robin Harris going at each other?
Man, Comedy Act Theater must have been about 90, 91. Robin Harris was at his all-time high, and Sinbad was on fire too. We at the Comedy Act Theater in Lamert Park, and Robin Harris said something to Sinbad. Sinbad said something back. And dude, somehow or another, Sinbad got a cordless mic, and these two fools was going back and forth so hard, a whole place, people start running outside because they couldn't get air because it was so much laughter going on, you couldn't breathe. People were the waitresses. You could have robbed the joint, dude. You could have robbed the whole place because couldn't nobody breathe. Everybody was hunched over at their tables, trying to get air, running out the building. It was just crazy, man. It was just crazy. I saw Sinbad at the NAM convention, and we talked about that. He remembered that shit. I saw Sinbad right before he had the stroke a couple years ago, and we talked about that shit. He didn't know me, but he remembered the situation, and we laughed like a son of a gun then because him and Robin, they were they just had a great chemistry against each other. It was like Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. It was gonna be a good fight, okay? No matter who you like, it was gonna be a good fight. You may be a Frazier fan, but you'll love Ali because he gonna bring it to him. He ain't gonna lay down on his ass. And Sinbad didn't even cuss, and he still brought it to him. Okay. Sinbad, right? Sinbad, Mac Turtle. Sinbad don't cuss, and he still brought it to him. Okay.
I love that shit, dude. That's so dope, man.